It's difficult to give a blanket answer to that, given every company has its own particular set of sensibilities. But I would say that smart companies should be putting a tremendous amount of resource at the intersection of the corporate brand and the consumer brand. And I would also say that the traditional marketing mix that would include advertising and a heavy weight towards advertising also needs to be rethought. My recommendation would be to put more resources into digital, more resources into how a company is looking at engaging its stakeholder groups from a social purpose perspective. It definitely does, but I want to say with a caveat that while we've seen trust in CEOs at the lowest point ever in the history of the trust study, it does not at all mean that CEOs don't have an important voice in the mix. What it does mean, however, is that there needs to be a chorus of voices speaking on behalf of a company. So that needs to be the employee base, that needs to be an academic, that needs to be a trusted third party. So a CEO can't be a solo, or else we won't move forward in a meaningful way. Needs to be surrounded by a chorus of voices with credibility to be the most successful. It's hard to say, since the real impetus for this, I think, has the greatest application for large multinational companies. But I think the tale is the same. And the tale is this: essentially, what got you there won't get you there. And by that I mean, what we typically looked at, the metrics that drove trust for companies, strong balance sheet, strong leadership, are things that are still important, but in the continuum are at the bottom quartile of the most important actions and behaviors a company can take, versus a strong emphasis on socio-economic benefit. And I would say that small businesses need to think through some of the same things that bigger companies think through in terms of digital, in terms of deploying employee voices, but to really think through the impact that they're having, not only from a operational standpoint, but from a values-based standpoint, because that's really how stakeholders are evaluating companies today.